So it's a cold winter's morning and Audi have sent me the brand new RSQ8 and it's an absolutely striking car. The color that you see there is dragon orange and it's the best of the best of the best, really. You've seen my previous video on the Q8, the 45 TDI, which I said was one of the most beautiful SUVs to come out of the modern coupe SUV market, but now they've sent me their flagship and I'm going to give you a quick impression and an initial thought on the car because I don't really have it for a very long time. So on the outset, the color, like I said, it's dragon orange, but distinct features that you'll see is the RSQ8 badging all around the car. You'll also see massive, enormous brakes. In fact, that's one of the largest brake set and rim set that's ever been fitted to an Audi production model. In fact, if you park it next to a normal car, it looks completely ridiculous. But other telltale signs are the aggressive front bumper. You see very wide air dams, intercoolers that you can see. And also this car is fitted with a carbon package. So it looks the part, it sounds amazing. And I think on that note, I'm going to give you a quick start up and show you what that engine sounds like. This is Audi's RSQ8 and it's a 4-litre twin-turbo 441 kilowatt monster with 800 newton meters of torque. And when you put your foot flat down, that's what it can do. 0 to 100 takes a claimed 3.8 seconds, but we all know Audi are being super conservative about that. I've seen claim figures of 3.4 and 3.5 seconds. It's phenomenal that a car this heavy can go that quick, and it makes absolute sense because when this car was released, it was one of the fastest cars around the Nürburgring. It's under 8 minutes. In a car that can seat 5 comfortably and is super luxurious, that's fantastic. So a lot has changed on this RSQ8. They've fiddled with the suspension, the handling, the steering. Everything about this car is absolutely precise, but it's still a luxury SUV. So when it's not in RS mode, it still goes very, very smoothly and very, very quietly along the road. It has an efficiency mode, and that mode is absolutely phenomenal. What it does is it's got cylinder deactivation, so instead of it running as a V8, it can run as a 4-cylinder to save you fuel. And it's got air suspension that's adaptive, so you won't have to feel like it's super stiff and super hard on the roads. It's quite comfortable. And the other modes that are in this car is, like I said in the other video, and if you haven't seen that video, click the link in the description, or there should be something that pops up now that you'll be able to see about the Q8. I've always said this car has been one of my favorite SUVs. It's stylish, sophisticated, and it just looks so good, and that's what it's got to its advantage. There's lots of competition, and the competition offers so much. But what I personally like about this car is just how bold it looks. It's finished in dragon orange, and that's a loud color by itself, but its futuristic looks is pretty much spot on for something that is Audi. Audi's always been known for something minimalistic and simple, but when they do performance cars, they do it very well, and their new design language is sharp, angular. It looks like something from the movie Tron. And that's what's something that is attracted myself towards this car and why I say it's one of my favorite coupe SUVs on the market. When you walk into an Audi dealership, you'll be able to see that this car is not cheap. And like I said, you're paying a lot of money and you get a lot of car for that matter. It's 2.3 million rand, and as you see it as tested, it's 2.6 million rand because this car is filled with a plethora of extras. One of them being the carbon exterior pack, which is about 100,000 rand, and that gives you all the carbon inserts and lets you know that this is a serious performance model. I know people would say, would you actually spend that amount of money on a car or on that kind of extras? And I would say yes, because when you're forking out that amount of money, it makes sense to make it look stylish and nice. I mean, people would go for the subtle color, but I like this color. It's dragon orange, it's loud, and this car doesn't have the optional ceramic brakes. And if you want to know if Audi has ceramic brakes, they are in a nice blue color. This has standard calipers, and I prefer them on normal road cars because this car is not going to go to the track. It's going to be, you know, running around town in the city like this, a little bit more vigorously than usual. But ceramics, yeah, it helps with brake fade, absolutely. But for day-to-day, these brakes are absolutely fine because they're absolutely ginormous. This car is sitting on 23-inch rims, and the brakes are equal in size. It's absolutely huge. If you pull up next to a small hatchback, the brakes are the size of the actual wheel of that car. So can you live with the RSQ8? Absolutely, because when people see this car, they know it is serious business. What I also like to point out is that this shares the same platform as the Lamborghini Urus, and people are calling this a baby Urus. In fact, when I put out feelers on social and I said, let me know what you want to know about this car, lots of people pointed out that this is basically a baby Lambo. But technically it is, and for about half the price. So you're getting a lot more bang for your buck, and you're also getting the nice street cred of Audi. When people see Lamborghini, it's a Lamborghini, and there's a lot that comes with it. But Audi has a lot of street cred. If you get it in the right color, the right spec, but also just the way this car looks, it's got my vote at the end of the day. Compared to the X6 and Mercedes, I'd probably have this one. I feel like the other cars are trying to be too much of a sports car than an actual SUV that's performance orientated, where I think that this RSQ8, driving it around town, I feel like it's traditionally an SUV that's just been amplified to 11. It's got everything that I need, but a little bit more poke, and that's what I look for in a car that I'm going to live with, because I'm not going to take this to the track, and I'm not going to have other compromises. And that's just a personal opinion of mine. You guys can absolutely disagree with that, but let me know. Do you think that the RSQ8 is worth the price tag? Do you think it's worth the money? Or would you rather have the competition? I do like the gearbox on this car. It's an 8-speed Tiptronic. It handles the power well. But from time to time in RS mode, if it was to be a little bit critical, it's a little bit indecisive. Sometimes it's quite choppy and aggressive, and you can feel almost as if it was a dual clutch. But then at times it's a little bit not as intuitive with the power when you're getting on it. But these are things that I'm nitpicking on. There's also the fact that this car has got a plethora of screens, and you're going to get finger marks all over it. But I mean, these are things that I can definitely live with. As a flagship, it's meeting all of my expectations. It's got power, it's got presence. And honestly, I think compared to a BMW or a Mercedes, I'd prefer it because it just ticks all the right boxes. But let me know what you think. Is this a car that you would have? Maybe would you get this over a Lamborghini Urus? Would love to know. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think of this car. But otherwise, we'll chat soon, and let's keep in touch on socials. But thanks for watching.